This is the Bellwork template. So if you download this from the resource barn, this is the document that you will get, the non-Google version. So this is made in PowerPoint. So if your school does not utilize Google platforms, then you can absolutely use this in your classrooms instead. And so this is our Bellwork booklet. It's not preloaded with anything. We know teachers utilize Bellwork in different ways, so we wanted to give you the freedom to create your Bellwork. And so this first page here, anything you see that says like your name here, or these boxes, these are fillable boxes that your students can type in. And so everything else, like this here, these are already, like that's made in master view, so it's behind where your students can click and manipulate, so they can't move any of these things. There are 6 slides for each week, so then that way you've got plenty of space for them to utilize it daily and still have a little extra left over. These tabs over here on the side of each page work to get them to where they need to be. So if they're accidentally, I think we're currently in week 1, but if they're supposed to be in week 5, they can click hyperlink and it will open to the front page of that next week. And so you go back down to week 9 or back up to week 2. And so then you can also collapse over here in the side column, you can collapse these weeks. So then that way, if that's easier for them to utilize, they can get themselves to week 6 from the table of contents pretty quickly by collapsing those middle sections. So if you want to go ahead and create something for your students to use, but you don't want them to be able to move everything around, go up here to view and then go to the slide master. And so this gives you the master view, and so you can see the front slide of each of those. So if you want to do it on the front page of week 1, you can do that. If you want to do it on a blank notes sheet, this is a really important part. You need to first duplicate this sheet, because this one page is the template for all of the pages for each of those weeks. So you'll want to duplicate this, and so you can duplicate that layout. And then let's say we want to do a Venn diagram for them. So we're going to insert a couple of circles. And if I hold down shift, then it makes it perfectly round instead of oval. And I want it to be transparent, so I'll get rid of the shape fill. And I want to increase the weight so it's a little bit thicker. And then also make the box purple. And so there's that. And then I can copy and paste that, so then that way I've got 2 of them and I can arrange them next to each other. I like that PowerPoint gives you some lines to make sure you know like they're level and even and those kinds of things, so it helps you out with that. And so these circles your students will not be able to move, so they are held in place. And so if you wanted to create a text box that they can, so we can put the directions up here, and they will not be able to move those. Now, if you wanted to create a text box that they could move or type in, you would go over here to this insert placeholder, and we're gonna do text placeholder. And so we're just gonna draw a text box, and then it'll have that space here, and you can type in instructions that will disappear. Okay, and so then, let's say you also want to put a text box in each of these for them to utilize. So we'll put a text box here, and then I often just delete all of the extra stuff so it's not so long. And then I can also make the font smaller, so then that way it isn't going to be so crazy when they start typing in it. So there's that text box, and then we can copy and paste that over here, and then put one here in the middle too. Okay, so now we've got our slides with our instructions, and we're ready for them to utilize this. And so I hit save just so I make sure I don't lose it, and go back to, you'll close the slide master view, and then we're back in our first week. And so let's say we made that for week 1 and we want to put it in here. So we're going to change the layout of this slide to the one that we just created. And so you can see, so here, if they start typing, those instructions will disappear. So you could have your question written here, like type answer to, number question 1 right here. And so then when they would start typing, that would disappear because they would type their answer there. And so then they can click on these text boxes and type whatever the directions are there, but they cannot click on these directions and they cannot move these circles. So because we built those in master view and did not make them placeholders, those are permanent. And so the only other thing here is that you'll see, oh, the hyperlinks still work. Okay. Since we changed the layout, it kept them the same here, but if you were to just insert a new slide, if you were to just have dropped that slide in, the links would not work. So since we inserted it on a slide, they worked. If you add a new slide, they will not work. So if links don't work, you can come up to another page where you know they do work, grab that box, copy, and then paste them on top. So that will make them work. That's how the Bellwork document works.